Hey, hello ladies and gents, how you doing? I hope I find you well today. It's a boy Mason and welcome to the motivational channel. This is a YouTube channel where we try to kind of like enlighten and kind of like educate and help each other to get through life in general. As you all know, life can be a bit stressful. So we need a bit of motivation, we need a bit of inspiration, and we need a bit of a bit of advice of how to get through life, basically, you know what I'm saying. And the other thing is, these are all just opinions. These are all just my thoughts, and I never claim to be an expert or an authority on any of the things that I do say. So I just share with you some of my opinions. So ladies and gents, today I want to talk about the power of the mind. Now, our mind is, a lot of people, we tend to underestimate how powerful our mind is. And normally, we do not even understand that it is our mind that shapes up our reality. It is our mind that shapes up our actions. It is our mind that shapes up our perspectives. It is our mind that shapes up our decision making. In our decision-making processes. As you all know, and I've said this so many plenty of times in any of my previous videos, we are made up of our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. And in my other videos, I've talked about the God consciousness or the God mind as well, which is part of us. But without being too technical, and I do not want to confuse you, so I'm just going to keep it simple. The conscious mind is actually 10% of your mind. 90% of your mind is the subconscious mind. Now, what's the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is a big pool of information that you have accumulated over the years, a big pool of beliefs that you have been indoctrinated and you have made actually confirmed to be true. And all this information is all stored in that memory disk, which is called your subconscious mind. And it's a big chunk, it's a big memory disk, and it's about 90% of your mind. Now, your conscious mind is your analytical mind. It is the mind that makes decisions for you. And most of the decisions made by the conscious mind is made through the choices, and the choices that are made available by the subconscious mind. So whatever that you consciously decide to, I want to do this, I want to do that, most of the times it's actually your subconscious mind that is giving out to you, and you pick and choose which one you think is best. But then if you put wrong information inside your subconscious mind, obviously the conscious mind is going to choose the wrong solution or the wrong choices. Now, so that's the main difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, a lot of people, a lot of us, we live on automatic life. We do not understand that your mind is the driving force of everything that you do. Everything that is everything that is engulfed into your reality is shaped up and driven up by your mind. So most of the times we are on autopilot, and we just let the mind do its thing, and we just follow what our mind does. So basically, essentially, we are slaves to our minds. So this is what I want to try to tell you in this video, ladies and gents, or what I want to suggest it to you. Your mind should not be the driver of you. You should be in charge, to be in control of your mind. You shouldn't be a slave to your mind, because your mind is, like I said, it is best. It makes the choices out of the different kind of information that is available to it, and sometimes you end up doing certain things, or you end up responding in a certain way in a certain situation because of the things that are available in your subconscious mind. And we do normally we are not even involved in the decision making or in the thought process making, but we just find ourselves engulfed making these automatic responses, or just doing whatever that our mind is telling us to do or pushing us to do. So what's the best way to be in charge of your mind? Imagine this. Imagine if you go to a cinema or into a movie theater, and you take a seat, and on the big screen is a projected everything that is going through your mind, how your mind is working, how your mind is making decisions. Imagine you just sat there and you are not involved, you're just looking at what is happening. Now you tell me, of all the things that are being projected on that big screen, how much of it was your conscious decision? How much of it was out of your own will or out of your own choice? Is it automatic process? Is it just an automatic thing that is just happening and you just find yourself doing it? Or are you making conscious decisions to say, okay, if such and such happens, this is how I'm going to react, or if such and such happen, I will do this, or I've done this consciously, I've made a decision to do this. If somebody had made some kind of a remark that hurt me, right, that hurt me, and I'm a bit heartbroken and everything, and I'm a bit upset, how do I respond? How did I respond to that? Did I make a conscious decision to respond to that situation, or was it just an automatic thing? You're going to find out that almost 80% or even 90% of the time, we are just doing things automatically. We are doing things automatically because it is our ego that is in charge of everything. It is our ego. And an ego, what is an ego? And an ego is actually a composition of your identification, a composition of your identity, what you believe to be yourself. What you think is who you are. And this is shaped up again by your subconscious mind and all your beliefs and everything about you. Like, for example, your name, your country of birth, your culture, your religion, what you think about you, that's what shapes up your ego. Now, if all these things that are being shown on the big screen, and so the question is, how much of it is out of your own decision? How much of it was your own deliberate and intentional input? You're going to find that most of the time we are just slaves to our minds. We are just subservients to our mind, and our mind is in control of our situation. But it is your mind, like I say, that shapes up your reality. It is your mind that shapes up all your opportunities. It is your mind that shapes up at what frequency of vibration, what frequency you're going to be vibrating on. You know what I'm saying? So if your mind is in charge of you, how much of it is your life? How much of it is out of your own free will? So, ladies and gents, the best way to do certain things, or the best way to make up decisions in your life, is to separate yourself from your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Whenever a situation arises, whenever you are faced in a certain debacle or a tricky situation, take a step back and see exactly what your mind is saying. Listen to what your mind is saying, and you make a choice that I do not want to do that. I do not wish to follow that route. I do not wish to take that action. I intentionally choose to take this action instead. Most of the times, like I said, we are on automatic response. We respond to certain situations automatically without even knowing. That's why a lot of people, we get stressed and distressed. and we are full of regrets. We are full of emotions of regrets, because we, after whatever that has happened, we start to reflect and be like, oh, I wish I had not done that. Why did I do this? Why did I take that action? Why did I choose to go that way? Most of the time, because at that very moment of time when whatever that was happening, you weren't actually in charge of it. It was your mind that was in charge of the decisions or whatever that would have happened. Your mind shapes your reality. Your mind shapes up your future. So if your mind shapes up your reality and your mind shapes up your future, somebody has to be in charge of it. Somebody has to control it. Do not let your mind control you. You've got the power to control your mind. Your mind is your subservient. You are not your subservient to your mind. Most of the time, we are almost always find ourselves being slaves to our mind. Your mind, you should be able to quieten your mind. So every single time, whenever you make decisions, be mindful, be aware of what your mind is doing. Be aware of what your mind is trying to say to you. You should be able to have 100% input to the decision-making process. Do not let your mind get in automatic responses. Because like I said, most of the responses and most of the actions or the non-actions that we take or do not take, almost 100% of the time comes from the subconscious mind. But if you have stored information that was wrong, information that was not right, if you had believed certain things that aren't true, you're just going to be relying on the wrong information. And by relying on the wrong information, you're going to be making automatic decisions that you're going to regret in future. So your mind, ladies and gentlemen, is very powerful. Your mind should be subservient to you. Do not let your mind control you. Do not let your mind put you in jeopardy. Most of the times, I'll give you an example. Most of the mental problems that we have, like stress, anxiety, depression, phobias, and all of those things are coming from our mind. Because it is our mind that is telling us, I am scared of that situation. It is our mind that is telling us to fly. It is our mind that is telling us to run away. It is our mind that is telling us that I am in a threatened situation. Even though that's not true. Even though that is just a delusion. This is just your mind playing with you. But if you are not in charge of your mind will be playing you. But you need to stand up tall, separate yourself, watch the movie that's inside your mind taking place. See what your mind is doing. And the best way to do this, ladies and gents, is you do not suppress the mind, the things that are coming in from your mind. Do not suppress them. Because that's not how your mind works. Your mind works in cooperation and in understanding. So what do you do? What you do essentially is to consciously, intentionally make a decision and say, okay, my mind, thank you for bringing this to my attention, but I do not wish to choose that. Instead, I wish to choose this. So by doing this, automatically, whatever thought process, whatever that was coming through your mind would just disintegrate. It would just disappear. Do you know why it would disintegrate and disappear? Because your mind will shape and create a form and a structure of anything that you believe to be true. So if you say, I prefer, thank you for whatever that my mind, thank you for whatever you've brought into my attention. But in this moment, I choose not to be anxious. I choose not to have this phobia. I choose not to be scared. I choose instead to make this decision. But thank you very much. And you're going to see everything just disappear. It will just go. It will just disappear. It just disintegrate. That's how you take control of your life. That's how you take control of your decision-making process. That's how you become in charge of your mind. You need to be outside of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Now, I've made this video before, and I was talking about you've got another third mind. You've got the conscious mind, which is 10%. You've got the subconscious mind, which is 90%, but you've got another third mind. And a lot of people, we are ignorant and oblivious to this mind, which is actually essential, which is the real you. And it is the God consciousness. It is the other mind that is in charge, that is connected to the universe, that is connected to everything in the universe. And this is, I call it the infinite conscious energy, or the infinite energy consciousness, or some people call it the God consciousness. For you to access this God consciousness, and I've talked about this in my other video, I think it's called the God is within you. So anybody who want to get to know a little bit more about that, just go and look for that video. But basically, I was saying in that video that you are actually your God self. There's a higher self, and your higher self is outside the realm of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So essentially, basically, what I'm trying to tell you is this, or what I'm trying to suggest to you is, you need to quieten your mind, and forcing or suppressing thoughts that are coming from your mind is not going to work. It doesn't cut it. It's not going to cut it. What's going to cut it is you cooperating, communicating with your mind, telling your mind, thank you for bringing this to my attention, but I intentionally choose to go this way instead. I intentionally prefer to make this alternative, or this choice instead. And that will just disappear. Because when you suppress your mind, there is going to be conflict of interest, because your mind will be saying to you, hear me out, do this, do that. And until you acknowledge, because the mind, everything that's happening in your mind, all it just needs is acknowledgement and communication. And by you acknowledging what your mind is trying to say, or what your mind is saying, you talk to it and say, I thank you for bringing this into my consciousness. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but I'm not scared. Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing this information to my attention, but I am not hurt. So I'm not going to revenge anything. Thank you for bringing this whatever, but I do not hurt anybody. Thank you for doing this whatever, but nobody has done anything to me wrong. Because I am not my ego. I am just an infinite conscious energy. You can never hurt me. You can never break my heart. You can never break my spirit, because I am infinite conscious energy. So there is no way you're going to break my heart. There is no way you're going to hurt my feelings. There is no way I'm going to be scared of whatever situation, because all these things are just imaginary situations. They're just imaginary threats and illusions that are just playing out into my reality, but they are not real. But thank you for bringing this information to me, but I choose to do this. Because when you do that, you are actually in charge of your mind. And by doing that, there's another added advantage to it. You are rewriting the program that is already programmed into your subconscious, into your conscious program. So you are redesigning the program. You are rewriting the script, basically. And when you're rewriting the script, any old script that was there will just be deleted, will just disintegrate, will just be non-existent. So ladies and gents, I'm just going to quickly summarize this video for you. You need to understand that your mind is very powerful, and you need to be mindful. And being mindful means being aware of what your mind is doing, being in the present. When people are saying be mindful and being in the present, a lot of people do not quite understand what that means. What it actually means is be aware of what your mind is actually doing. Be aware of the movie that is taking place inside your mind. And by you being aware, and make a conscious decision to say, Thank you for bringing this information to me. Thank you for reminding me of this. Thank you for presenting me with all these choices, but I choose to make this. So when you take time to make a decision, when you take time to align yourself with this God consciousness, the infinite consciousness, the divine self, the higher self, because your conscious mind is not your higher self, your subconscious mind is not your higher self. There's another higher self, a divine self. When you consciously align and attune yourself to this divine self, you can make a conscious decision. You can make a decision that is not you can make a decision that is of your own input, that is of your own choice, okay, that is coming from you, that what you really want to do, or what you really want to say, or what you really want to act. But your mind is not in charge of you. Your mind is not doing something for you. A lot of people, we do not understand why we are always faced with the same situation day after day, year after year, why we are faced and surrounded by the same kind of people, same kind of influences, why I've got the same kind of problems every single time. Because you are not in charge of anything. Your mind is in charge of you. All the beliefs, all the indoctrinated beliefs that are stored inside your mind, your subconscious mind, they're all in charge of you. All these imaginary phobias, all these anxiety moments and everything is all just being played out to you by your mind. Your mind is just presenting these things to you, but you have never been in a position to be in charge, to make a conscious decision to say, you know what, I prefer to do this. Thank you for bringing this to me, but I choose to go that way. I choose to go left. I choose to go right. I choose to go upwards, or I choose to go downwards. This is what you do, ladies and gents. This is how you use your mind to your own advantage. Everything is mind, and your mind is very powerful. Most of the times we think we make decisions. Most of the times we think we are shaping our reality, but to be quite honest, it is other people, other situations that are shaping our reality, because it is your mind that is shaping things for you. But this mind is based on the information that was stored inside your subconscious mind. And your conscious mind is just going to tap into this information that was put by other people in our system. But this is not our own deliberate, intentional input. This is other people's work. This is other people's decisions. But that's not us. That's why we are always, so sometimes we tend to see each other, ourselves, in the same situation, in the same trials and tribulations, in the same debacle, in the same tricky situations, because we are not consciously in charge of the whole thing. We need to be the captain of our minds. We need to be in control. And like I said, work with your mind. Don't work against your mind. And when I say don't work against your mind, I mean do not suppress the things that are stored inside your mind. When something, a typical example is, let's say somebody has broken your heart. Your initial or your automatic response is maybe to retaliate. Your automatic response is maybe to say, you know what, I hate them, I'm not going to forgive them, I hate them with a passion, or I'm going to do the same thing back to them, because that's your ego speaking, because that's what other people have told you. This is how you react when you're first in this situation. But that's not you. That's other people. So you're not making any decision. That's other people making that decision for you. But if you stand back, if you sit back and watch the movie playing, watch the thought processes playing out, and you say to yourself, okay, thank you for bringing this information. Thank you for bringing this solution, or this this solution that, okay, I'm going to hate them. I'm going to totally blank them. I'm not going to talk to them, or I'm going to retaliate. Thank you for bringing this information, and thank you for bringing this solution, but I intentionally choose to go this way. And you know why I intentionally to choose this way? Because I am my divine self. Nobody can hurt my emotions. Nobody can hurt my feelings, because I am an infinite conscious energy. And I am not my flesh and bones. I am not my ego. You cannot hurt my character, because my character is an infinite conscious energy, is an infinite divine self. You can never hurt me. You can hurt my ego, but I am not my ego. So you see, when you're doing this, you are showing your mind that you know, you are aware, you are mindful of everything that's happening. You are mindful of everything that's of the movie that's taking place. That's how you become in charge of your own mind. So ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching this video. And just to reiterate, be mindful of how powerful your mind is. Be mindful that it is your mind that drives your life. That is your mind that shapes up your reality. But if you are not in charge of it, your mind will shape the reality on your behalf. And you're just going to be following whatever that your mind is saying. You're just going to be a slave, and your mind will be your master. But it should be the other way around. Your mind should be your slave. You are the master. You use your mind, because your mind is very powerful, but it can build and it can destroy. So you've got something that is very, very powerful that can build and destroy. But if you are in charge of it, you lose it, you use it to your own advantage. Obviously, as long as it's positive, because you don't hurt other people, you do not inflict harm on other people. You use it to your own advantage so that you can have true happiness and a peaceful life. And you can have everything can manifest into your reality. And you can shape your life the way you want to shape it. And you can direct your life the way you want to direct it. That's how you take in charge of your life, ladies and gents. For you to take in charge of your life, it has to start by taking in charge of your mind. If you do not take in charge of your mind will just direct you and lead you astray. It will just lead you left, right, wherever. But you are not in charge of it, so you're just following whatever. That's why a lot of people, they always have recurring problems. Week after week, month after month, year after year. It's always the same thing, just a different day. It's always the same influences, the same people, the same results. No matter what you do, it's always the same thing. And you wonder, why is my life never changing? Why I'm putting all this great effort, how come things aren't working out well for me? How come there is no tangible changes, realistic changes in my life? It's because your mind is in charge of you. You're not in charge of it. You are implying, or you are utilizing the information that's stored inside your subconscious mind, but you can't use the same thing and expect different results all the time. Because that is crazy. That is not logical. You can't be expecting a different result when you are implementing, or when you are using the same information, the same course of action. But if you are in charge of the action, if you are in charge of everything, then you are the master. You've got the keys now. You're the grandmaster of you. You are the architect, basically, of everything that's happening to you. Okay, so ladies and gents, you can shape up your life. You can design your life. You can direct your life the way you want to direct it. You can make anything manifest into your reality by intentionally consciously making the right decision, by intentionally telling your mind what you want it to happen, because your mind is very powerful. Your mind can manifest anything that you want. And your mind can bring form and structure to anything that you need, anything that you desire to have. But if you are not telling your mind what you want, if you are not directing your mind which way you want to go to, or what exactly you want it what exactly you want to manifest into your reality, your mind will make the decision for you. Your mind will tell you and show you what you want, what you want. But most of the times, it is not actually you making the decision. It will be the subconscious mind. It will be other external information that is being indoctrinated into your psyche. And this is what's going to shape up your life. But that's not you. There's no input that's coming from you. So for you to have input inside your life, you need to be in charge of it. You need to be like I said, you need to be the grandmaster. You need to be the architect. Tell your mind what you want to do. Make conscious decisions. Be aware of everything. That's what's happening. Be mindful. Live in the present. When the people say live in the present, means be aware of what's happening at that very moment of time. How your mind is working out. What the movie that's playing out. Okay, so ladies and gents, hopefully this information is going to help you. Hopefully this information is going to change your life. And stay blessed. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Yeah. All right. Take care. Bye. Respect.